Hey everyone, I'm back. Okay, I tried to do an Instagram live yesterday and it was awful. Thank God only 3 people saw it and I just erased it off. So I'm gonna try again today. It seems that I just feel more comfortable with this group right now. So you're kind of my guinea pig and I'm using you as a practice. So tonight we're just gonna make a chicken dinner. I've just been out painting our new addition. I just got off of 2 flights of scaffolding and I find I'm more nervous to do these cooking classes in front of people than I am being up on 2 flights of scaffolding. So I have paint all over my hands, just walked in the door, but I'm gonna make this chicken dinner in just less than 10 minutes. So I started it already before I turned on the live, just so that we could make it a little bit quicker. The first thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna start the chicken and then we're gonna start the rest of our dinner, but that way we can get started. It's always important to preheat your cookware in order to make sure that you don't have as much sticking. So the way you know how to do that is by, I'll show you here, is that when you have your cookware, when you have you're gonna put a little bit of water in it, and I don't know if you can see it, but it dances in there and it doesn't splat. So it kind of gives it a little bit, it doesn't like splat out, it kind of dances on top. That's the way we know our pan is properly heated in order for us to cook. So I don't have any oil in here. I'm just gonna take, and I really don't need it because this is a chicken thigh, so it's not gonna really stick. And I'm just gonna put a couple chicken thighs in here and I'm gonna let them start to heat up. And I'm gonna crack the lid a little bit and that way it will let some of the moisture out. And here, through the magic, actually it wasn't magic because I started 10 minutes ago, but I already have some chicken thighs cooking here. So let me just plug this in here. And I have our chicken thighs. I cooked them about maybe 13 minutes. And now I'm just gonna turn them over. And they're a nice golden brown, as you can see. No oil needed. So what we're gonna do tonight is we're gonna have a broccoli cauliflower, I call it mac and cheese because they wanted to have mac and cheese, but instead we're gonna have this. Hey Claire. So what we're doing is I'm gonna make a non-dairy alternative to macaroni and cheese, and instead of using pasta, I have an alternative. I'm going to be using our broccoli and our cauliflower. So let's just talk about some of our ingredients while we start this. So we've got some broccoli here. We're gonna throw this into our already halfway cooked chicken. So broccoli is full of vitamin C and something called sulforaphane. It's anti-cancer fighter, it's anti-inflammatory. And some studies actually show that sulforaphane blocks the mutations of DNA that lead to cancer. So I would say to make sure that you're having some sort of broccoli in your life every single day, either broccoli sprouts, broccoli spears, broccoli slaw, broccoli, just the broccoli florets. So at least one part of the broccoli in your diet a day. So then we're gonna take some cauliflower, and this is why I decided to do this today, is I found this purple cauliflower. It's only in season around this time of year, and it's just so beautiful. And if you know me, I love purple vegetables and purple fruits because they're great for brain health. And the nice thing about purple is that it has something called anthocyanins in it, and it's a powerful antioxidant that you're not gonna get from the white one. So even though we want to have the white and the purple, it's just good to have a assortment of it. So what I'm doing is I'm going to put it all in here. And some people have even said, is that purple actually purple or do they dye it? And it's not dyed. I mean, it is a natural pigment, and you know, the brighter the color, the better it is for you. Although there's plenty of nutrition in white cauliflower too. So now that I cooked it at a high temperature, I cooked it at 450, I was starting to cook my chicken. Now that I put my vegetables in, I want to make sure that I lower the heat. Because what happens is anything over 185, you start killing your vegetables or your fruits. So we want to keep it, the idea is that you cook at a low heat for the shortest period of time possible. So like slow cookers, Instapots, they're at high heat or long periods of time, you're losing a bulk of your nutrition, and you can lose up to 90% of the nutrition in how you cook your food. So low heat, short period of time. So that's why I've turned it down to 200 degrees, and I'm gonna let it cook maybe for about 10, 15 more minutes, and dinner will be almost ready. So even though I didn't put any salt, anything on my chicken already, what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a cheese alternative, like to put onto a sauce for the top of it. So you could use this in pasta. You could use this, you know, I use this on pasta. I'll use it on something like this. So this is gonna be my macaroni and cheese. And plus, it's gonna be a much lower carb alternative. All of that vegetable instead of having our pasta. I mean, carbs are really like taking a hunger pill. When you just start taking in carbs, you just want to keep eating them. I mean, so that hungry pill just never gets satisfied. Or if you have something that has a higher fat content and you're going to have high fiber in it, like all those vegetables, you're going to feel much fuller, faster, and longer. So I'm going to take, and you might be thinking to yourself, Kelly, you've lost your mind. I mean, you've lived in California way too long, and you're going to make cheese out of cashews. But I am, and this is something that, yeah, I guess California has grown on me, but I'm also a dietitian, and I know that eating having less dairy and less animal protein is probably a good idea for us all to do anyway. So I've taken these cashews and I've soaked them in a bit of water, and I'm gonna put them in here. So if I'm in a rush, I would take the cashews and maybe put them in hot water for about 1 minute. But if I have all day and I just thought about it, I could put some cashews in water and just let them sit there, and they're gonna get nice and soft. So then I have some nutritional yeast here. And again, you may be thinking I'm losing my mind, you know, I'm getting into that hippy-dippy California way, but nutritional yeast is now found at Costco. I mean, it is definitely mainstream. I mean, nutritional yeast is a complete protein. It's full of B vitamins. It gives everything a cheesy, nutty flavor. A lot of vegetarians use it because they're not eating cheese. So, but I enjoy, I mean, it has a nice savory flavor to it. So I'm gonna put about a fourth of a cup with my cashews. And if you watch me a few more times, I'm gonna start making other things with cashews too. So I make cashew milk, cashew cheese, I feel like Forrest Gump, cashew milk, cashew cheese, cashew sauce. And the list could go on and on. I'm not making this vegan, but if you'd like to make it vegan, you could use instead like just vegetable broth. But I'm using chicken broth. I'm just gonna add a little bit of salt to this and a little garlic powder. If you wanted to have a little bit more time, which I don't really feel like I have the time tonight, you could saute some onions and garlic, but I found it flavorful enough I didn't need it tonight. And now I'm gonna add some turmeric here, if you can see that. And I'm almost done with my dinner. And I even painted some stucco outside. So I feel pretty good about myself today. So now I'm just gonna give this a blend. So I added paprika and turmeric. Turmeric is great for anti-inflammatory, but it also gives it a beautiful yellow flavor. I mean, really, digestion starts in our mouth, and we start eating when we look at our food. And not that I'm saying that this is going to replace cheese, but you're gonna have that feeling that it is kind of like cheese when you're eating it. So I'd love for you to give it a try. So we've got our cashews here, and I'm going to give this a couple more minutes, but really I'm almost done. And that's how fast dinner was tonight. So, and I'll take a picture of this later on tonight, and I'll leave the recipe if you'd like on the comments. And let me just show you. Here's dinner. I can take some out for you if you'd like. See, and by not cooking those vegetables too long, they're going to stay bright and vibrant and have as much nutrition as possible. Let me get one little white one out. And I'll add some cashew cheese to the top. And honestly, this is such an easy meal, and it seems like it's so healthy. And really, if you wanted to make it vegan, this would be enough to have the broccoli and cauliflower and then just have a side salad. I mean, you have your protein with your cashews. So here we go, right here. So enjoy your evening, and I will see you next time. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.